Oh, hey Bruce, I'm sorry. I was chat fishing.
I'm just getting ChatGPT to tell me how to respond to you.
Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm glad you are. So today we are talking about chat fishing. I don't know if you know what it is, but
ChatGPT says, okay.
okay, good. So we've all heard of catfishing, but now there's chat fishing. So those scams that you've seen, where somebody sends you a text or an email and it looks legit, that's probably chat fishing. But it's also used for other things. What else is it used for, Bruce? Because I know you wrote about this in Forbes.
ChatGPT says, yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about this.
So yeah, I wrote about chat phishing because it's something that's becoming increasingly common in dating.
What?
Yes.
Wait a second. So chat fishing is something that's used for dating? I
So
need to know
so
about
you
this.
you, you mentioned catfishing, right?
Mhm.
Catfishing um, is when people, and catfishing and dating is when people pretend to be someone that they're not,
Mhm.
so that they
Mhm.
lure someone in. And at some point there might be a reveal, because you can only go so far pretending to
Yeah,
be
true.
someone. Chat phishing is when people use, one AI, like one of those AI platforms, to help them converse with someone else. So, like for instance, when on dating apps or other places that you might message back and forth, and so in theory, you think whatever messages you have coming back are from a real live person and what that person's saying. But in chat phishing, that person is actually using AI
Oh.
to come up with the responses. So, for instance, if you think, wow, this person is so witty,
Yeah.
this person is so funny and charming, etc. The question is it actually the person, or are you being charmed by Claude?
Oh.
Assuming that the person is not named Claude,
Yes,
which would
exactly.
be interesting if the person were named Claude.
Or
Yeah,
perplexity.
perplexity. Yes, yes.
Good
That
old
would be a
perplex.
good name for your kid.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
perplexity. Yeah,
So if you're chatfished, and you end up
just like
working it out with
Copilot. I think Copilot would be a good name.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Copilot. Where are you? Clean
Perplexity.
up your room. Perplexity. Dinner's ready. So, but yeah, it could actually be because nowadays you don't know where that's coming from. So
Yeah.
that specifically, I wrote about it in dating,
Hmm.
but it can actually occur in all kinds of settings, right? So it could occur in work, could occur among
Wait,
friends, or what
how
have you.
can it occur in work?
I've actually seen this
Ooh,
where
tell me.
people are using these AI platforms to help them, you know, talk with coworkers or colleagues or collaborators, or like other people in business deals, or those things like that, when it's actually
Wait,
supposed to
but
be them.
people tell you you're encouraged oftentimes to use, say, AI to help you write that perfect email. So what's the difference between that and chat phishing?
So think of it this way. So okay, say I want to send an email to someone,
Hmm.
and I say, hey Debbie, I want to send this email to someone, and I just want to make sure that it's not like too harsh or something like that.
Hmm.
And then you might suggest, well, okay, um, you have jerk written 5 times. You might want
Don't do
to like
that.
cut it down to like 3 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you're giving me suggestions, but you're not writing it for me. Like you
Okay.
aren't like you didn't come up with the message. I'm just checking with you to see if I can edit things or change things, etc. So I think there's a difference between if you've written most of the stuff yourself and maybe are getting some suggestions on what to do, versus you're getting AI to do it completely, like
I think
completely come up with
more
something.
and more people are using AI to do all of their
Yeah, yeah.
correspondence. Wow. I
So
didn't
so
think of
the
that as chat phishing, but yeah, I can see
well, yeah,
that.
it's chat phishing if you're like kind of luring someone and you're trying to trick someone, right?
Hmm.
And when it comes to dating, it's trying to trick someone romantically. You're trying to allure them in. But you could do it if like you want to convince someone that, oh, okay, say you want to like collaborate with someone on a project. Well, you make it sound like you actually are knowledgeable and understand all these things, but when you really don't. So the fishing part is where you're actually trying to fool someone to believe that you are someone that you're not.
Right.
Right.
So if I suddenly had all sorts of engineering terms in my email, somebody might say, wow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they should not say wow.
Yeah.
Because that's chat, not me.
Yeah. This person may be responding with AI says, say wow.
Yes, exactly.
When I normally would say something else. Right.
So how do we know what's real and what isn't? Is there a way to know that? Or is this
it's hard to tell. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell if you don't know the person, right? And that's why it can be effective at the beginning in dating, right? If you knew someone, okay, so say you were married for like decades to someone, and then suddenly like they say something that's completely out of character, then you're like, okay, that's not you.
Yeah.
Right?
If I start texting my husband all about engineering, he'd be like, who is this?
Yeah. Or if you start texting him like Shakespeare.
No, I can do that. I can do
out damn spot.
That wouldn't be it. It's the engineering that would get him.
Yeah, or lots of ye.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So if you know the person already, you can kind of tell, right? Yeah. You can tell if they're completely out of character. It doesn't sound like that person. That's weird. Why would you say something like that? The trick is when you don't actually know the person, and that's when you can get fooled. Yeah. And then someone can maintain this charade or this elaborate charade for a really long time, right? But
what happens when the person meets, or is the idea that they'll never meet? Are they just trying to trick them? Is it like a prank?
Yeah, that's interesting. This used to be a recurring theme in like sitcom episodes where someone tries to pretend to be someone that they're not, and then they have to continue.
They're LARPing.
Yeah, they have to continue the charade, right? I can't remember there was there's a movie. Okay, don't say Mission Impossible. But there's a movie. I say don't say Mission Impossible because I said, there was a Tom Cruise movie.
Check a previous episode and you'll know.
And Debbie responded, Mission Impossible, and that was not the movie I was thinking of.
Right, but it was a good guess.
Yeah, it was because Tom Cruise was in it. That's the only link between that and Jerry Maguire, which is the movie I was trying to think of. Right. But there's a movie that did not have Tom Cruise, but it was called Roxanne. I don't know if you remember.
I don't know it.
But Steve Martin starred in it, and he was this fire marshal or something like that, a firefighter.
Okay.
And then there was this guy that was a good-looking guy that was interested in someone that the Steve Martin character knew, but he could not like charm her, and he didn't know what to say. He stumbled over his words, etc. So he asked Steve Martin to speak for him. So he would stand there, but then like Steve Martin would talk or write the poems, and actually was the one who got her interested in this guy when it was actually the Steve Martin character.
Yeah.
Right. So then what happened after that is like, okay, what do you do? Because she wanted to like get together with him. And so then there's this kind of sequence where they're trying to figure out how to like kind of switch in and out and in and out. And out. So that's like a common plot, right?
Right.
But real life, it's a whole lot harder to do that. And once you find out, you aren't quite so forgiving.
True.
So it's one of these things where you didn't quite think it through.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to dating, it's more about not winning someone over. It's more about, do you actually fit together? Do you?
Right, exactly.
As a real person, you're not trying to figure out whether Claude fits together, unless of course your name is Claude.
Yeah, or Perplexity.
Fits together, or Perplexity fits together with this other person. It's you. So it's better for you to be yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's a lot simpler. If that person doesn't like you for who you really are, then it's not the right person for you.
True.
Right. Because you can't maintain that charade forever. So that's the thing. So anyone who's chat fishing isn't quite thinking this through.
Hmm.
Sometimes they might say, well, I'm going to chat fish just to get the person hooked. And then after the person has gotten to know me,
Right.
then okay, this person will then like get to know and be hooked to me, etc. So many times I see that mentality, but that person became interested in what you wrote previously, not you actually, because you didn't actually use your own words.
Right. Right.
So that thinking, I don't think makes sense.
So this is happening when people are talking, right, online, which
Yes.
is common. Like so
Yeah.
many people, this is the way to date. You get to know somebody online, and
Right.
there's going to be witty banter, and there's going to be all sorts of things that are going back and forth. And who
Yeah.
doesn't want to keep that going, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to have it so that you are able to keep up with somebody? Oh, they said something witty. I better have something witty to say back.
Yeah.
But you're going down a slippery slope
Yeah.
because when you get together and you're like, huh,
Yeah.
then
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
going to be really awkward.
Yeah.
So,
like you get together and that person knows, oh my goodness, you told me so many wonderful knock knock jokes, and
oh my
and then you sit
goodness.
there and you're like, knock knock, who's there? I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't work because you were supposed to be the knock knock joke person,
Yeah.
but you don't have any.
Right.
What's going on there? Yeah.
And the same at work. Imagine
Yeah.
if you're so eloquent and then you get into your meetings and you do not sound like all of your eloquent emails.
Yeah.
You all of a sudden are outed as not knowing a certain topic,
Yeah.
or that you haven't really been following on what's going on around the office.
Yeah. Exactly.
So these are things that people have often used. Oh, I need an email that's generic, that's going to go somewhere. I want to reach out to somebody. I want to say something really, clever. But if you keep doing it, you're digging yourself a hole because you're going to get outed.
Yeah.
And if you end up finding, I really like this person, but then they're going to feel like they can't trust you. Or I really love my job and I want to be able to do this, but now they find out that you didn't really write these, or they find out you don't have that expertise that you're saying that you do in your emails or in your correspondences. You've wrecked it for yourself because you've ruined the trust. And
Yeah.
trust is the core for everything.
Yeah.
Once that's broken,
once you've lost it, right? Like
it's
once you realize you did this once, like you pretended that this was you messaging.
all right, you could do one knock knock joke. I'll just say that. You could give
knock knock jokes. You can keep doing knock knock jokes.
Yeah. You could do
Yeah.
that. But
In
you're
fact-
right, you can't do more
In
than
fact,
that.
one of the goals is to have an entire conversation of knock knock jokes,
But not by chat fishing.
but not by perplexity, but by
Exactly.
yourself. Yes.
So how many people are doing this? Do you know?
I know the exact number. No, I have no idea the exact number. I mean, there are people
But
out
is this
there
a lot of people? I know that catfishing, there were several, that was a thing,
Yeah.
right? Which
There was
may still be a
there's
thing,
even
but-
that MTV series.
I
right?
know,
TV
yeah.
series about where they team up with a person who thinks that they are being catfished,
Mhm.
and then they kind of do the investigative
Yeah.
and et cetera. Eventually, many times in that show, then they actually show up in
Yeah.
the meeting, and the person is nothing like
Mhm.
what that person portrayed himself or herself to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an entertaining show. Now, there's no show yet called Chatfishing,
There should be.
but I would suspect it's actually quite common.
I think it's very, very, very common.
Yeah.
Because it's so accessible, it's so easy, and you can just kind of rely on this as opposed to, really thinking about, hey, did what I say, is that going to land or not? You can sort of test it through here, but it's just never going to work in work and
Well,
social life.
the problem, is this actually ties in with that whole phrase, fake it till you make it,
Oh, you're
right?
right. That does. Dress not for the job that you have, but the one you want.
Yes,
Yes, not being authentic.
exactly. Yes. Um, you, the thinking is that you can fake something, whether it's like a personality
Mm-hmm.
or
Yep.
or like competence at work, but at some point you'll be able to do it. You just have to win the person or the people or
Yeah.
whoever over at the beginning. And that mentality, I just don't think that works, right? Because
No.
ultimately in life, you want to do what fits you. You have a unique set of skills, a unique personality, a unique background, unique experience. So you have to cherish that
Yeah.
and then find what actually fits that.
Yeah.
So you have to have confidence that there's someone out there, or some ones, it can be plural, out there that actually appreciates you for who you
I agree.
are. And if you are that person who may struggle to come up with like a witty thing, that's who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
someone actually might be enamored by that.
Yeah.
Like we just talked about chaos culture,
Yep. We
right?
did.
So chaos culture is when things are not perfectly curated,
Mm-hmm.
right? Things are imperfect. Some things don't make sense. Some things are, you make mistakes and those things like that. There's actually that leaning towards that because that's authentic,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? So, like for instance, if you don't know how to respond, okay, so say you're in a dating situation and you don't know how to respond to a text, why not say that?
Yeah.
Right? Say,
Exactly.
I don't know how to respond.
Got me.
That's
You got me
funny.
with that one. Good one. You
Yeah.
win.
Or you can say, I am not as smooth as you because I can't
Exactly.
come up with something,
Yeah.
right? And the other person may actually appreciate that and may find that endearing,
Exactly.
right? So, yeah, you never know.
Same with work, or school or whatever the case is. If you say to somebody, I don't really know that,
Yeah.
more people appreciate that than don't. That whole fake it till you make it. If you don't trust that somebody's really doing the work based on what they know and that they're learning it as they go and winging it, that's a little scary for people. So if you can say, I'm not quite sure, but I'll figure it out, that's different than, chat fishing your day away.
Yes.
But the key underlying thing is authenticity, which is kind of like the new dopamine, that's the new drug of the day,
Yep.
is authenticity, which is getting yourself to be
Authenticity is a different word.
exactly. Don't do that.
Yes.
But
No, it's a made up word.
yes, exactly. A neologism.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to fool me to convince me that it's a real word because I was about to say,
I'm gonna add that
say, I
into.
agree. I believe in authenticity too, or whatever you said. So
Exactly.
I was
So,
going to agree because I didn't want to admit that I had no idea what you're talking about.
there you go. I'm glad you didn't.
Yes.
But now you can respond to me
Yes.
in a chat fishing way
Yes.
with a clever answer about that.
Exactly.
So, but the main thing is that authenticity
Okay.
is something that is craved by everyone now. We're seeking it, we want it. And when we don't get that, if we're getting chatfished, catfished, if we're getting scammed in some way, it is done. Don't expect to get a date from that person. It's not going to work out in your job. It's really a big deal because authenticity is what we're all craving right now. We see that in chaos culture. We see that in the way that we're moving in terms of relationships, that we're looking for more meaningful relationships. We're looking to express ourselves the way we want to be seen. That's something kind of new. We were really trying to get that ultra curated sense, like only post pictures of ourselves of happy times, of great vacations, of all kinds of things that we knew if you were to look at somebody's feed are not legit and true and real. And we're starting to move away from that. So
yeah,
I think that I'm hoping that chat fishing goes by the wayside.
I don't know if it's going to go by the wayside.
Mm,
I mean, I think
darn.
it's there. It's probably going to always be there because it's going to be tempting. And, you can only control what you do yourself. So I would
Mhm.
say one, if you yourself are thinking of doing it, don't do it. It's not worth it. It just isn't worth it. Like if you feel that other people, oh, they're sounding so much cleverer, they're sounding so much more interesting. Don't view things as a competition. Things
Yeah,
are
that's
not a
true.
competition. I think that's a problem. In dating and in work, I see too much competition.
Mhm.
Like people being competitive with each other. When in actuality, it's more about fit,
Yes,
right?
that's so
So in
true.
other words, when dating, you're trying to find the right person, the right fit for you, the person who actually fits you, the real you. And the same thing with work.
Mhm,
You
mhm,
ultimately want to find the work that fits you.
mhm. Yeah,
And if you find the work that actually fits you, you will be more successful because it'll be natural.
yeah,
Or you want to find a work setting that fits you. Like if you find that you have to be fake and you have to put on a false face to be someone in a certain workplace, maybe that workplace is not for you.
yeah.
That work situation is not for you.
Mhm, mhm.
So I would say that I think there's always going to be fakers out there. There's always
Yeah.
going to be people who are pretending to be what they're not. I think I might have mentioned there was someone that I used to work with a number of years ago. It was when I was working in the corporate world, and that person said one of his one of his career goals was to finally be in a position where he can be himself.
Mm.
That's a career goal. And I'm thinking, that should be a goal right now. You should just, if you feel like you can't be yourself in a
Yeah.
certain position, it's a wrong position for you.
It's
So,
hard when you're young because you're trying to figure out the job and you don't know, is it because I don't like it, because I don't know everything yet, I'm
yeah,
not that comfortable. But what's interesting is that in midlife, that's when it hits that everybody says, you know what, I'm going to do what I want now.
yeah,
I'm going to actually be my authentic self because people have the ability to do that finally. And it's like a freeing moment for people, is this
mhm,
ability to be authentic
yeah,
in a way. I think that that is the time when people are not doing as much chat fishing and all of that because they're able to be authentic and feel comfortable with that
maybe,
by the time they hit midlife. But
maybe,
maybe I'm wrong with
yeah,
that.
maybe. I think as time goes along, so this person I mentioned, this person had been in the workforce for quite a few years.
Hmm, hmm.
And so I see a mix. I see some people at some point they hit that realization, I just want to be myself.
Yeah.
But then there are people who never get to that realization.
Well, that's
Yeah,
developmentally you should.
yeah,
So it's, you should expect that.
hmm,
So we'll always see outliers, right?
hmm,
People who aren't quite fitting that mold, they can get there. There's no, might be a little bit later,
yeah,
right? But we should all be striving for that,
yeah,
to be reaching that point where we're able to feel authentic and happy about it. Developmentally, like as a developmental psychologist, this is something we should expect
hmm,
to achieve by midlife. So if you are younger and you have to work because you have to work, you might not love your job. But you should expect that by midlife, you could be in a position where you are being authentic
hmm,
and you are not going to be drawn to writing those emails or things like that that are not accurate about yourself.
hmm, yeah.
So, this is Bruce Wiley, and I'm Deborah Heiser. You can find us on Substack on Minded by Science and the Right Side of 40. You can also find Bruce. He has more than 85 million reads on his Forbes articles. And what we were talking about today is one of his articles. So if you found this interesting, go look up his Forbes articles. He also writes for Psychology Today. And I also write for Psychology Today, also for the Right Side of 40. So if you are looking for more of what we do, you can find us out there. And until next time.
Yes.